Hey guys, hope everything's going good in the studio life, and we're going to cover 3 things that I'm going to suggest to you that will make your studio much more successful. And it doesn't have anything to do with gear, your location, your pricing schedule, what kind of music or services that you offer, or whatever. But anyway, it has to do with you, okay? We're going to talk about you today, and there's 3 things that I want to cover. First thing is, what you need to do is find out what your customers or your clients want and then be able to deliver it. And that sounds pretty easy peasy, right? You know, hey, offer a service and be able to deliver it. But how well you can do that is really going to determine on how successful and how smooth your sessions go and how everything works out, even to how quickly you get paid. And we're assuming you're getting that deposit up front, right? So let's just start out. This can easily be accomplished by just off the clock when you're talking to your prospective customer. What do they want? What would they like to accomplish? So find out what their goals are, and then be able to tell them what it's going to take to accomplish those goals. So that will basically clue you in what they want, and will also be able to help you run your sessions much more efficiently. And then don't let them watch the clock, but you watch the clock for them. And I'll get back on that a little bit later. The second thing, and you know, I hope you understand what I'm talking about with that first thing there, okay? You know what they want. Be able to read their mind. And again, I'm going to talk about that a little bit more later. The second thing is that you're the boss, okay? They are not the boss. It's not a situation to where the customer's always right. Now, if it's getting down to a mix, you know, I'm going to make the exception that if they want something done this way, if they want the bass too loud and that's what they want, then they're right, okay? But you run the sessions, you run the studio, you are the organizer. And now you don't have to run it with a, you know, with a what is it, a gavel, you know, or swing the battle axe and say, this is how we're doing it, you know, love it or leave it. But, you know, in the background, you are running the session, you are running the studio, you are running how things will flow. You're going to get them from point A to point B. You are the director, you are the producer, you are the engineer. Providing that, like I said, you may just be engineering the session, or you may have an engineer that you bring in, or a producer or something, but actually you are going to put on all those hats and you are going to run the session. You're in charge. Keep that in mind. And like I say, you don't have to be bossy about it. In fact, if you're not bossy about it, the better. And then lastly, you got to be a mind reader. And you go, well, okay, how do you read minds? The thing is, and this is an acquired talent, what you want to do, and this gets back to the first point, finding out what they want to do and being able to deliver it, is you want to be able to, when they ask about something, you know, I'm sure you have somebody that you know when you're talking that you can finish the sentence for them. Like if your spouse, if you know them, and so they're going to be starting to say something and you already know what they're going to say before they finish the sentence. That's the way that you want to be able to relate to with your musicians. You know, you're going to want to make them feel comfortable, and it makes them feel like you're on the same page with them, and that's important. You're on the same team. You're not their boss, but remember, you're in the background, you're leading the session, you're in charge, but you want to know what they want to do before they tell you. Say they're doing something, laying down some tracks and having some difficulty laying down some overdubs or something, and what you want to do is just come up with a suggestion, and I'm using this as an hypothetical example, is say, well, let's just go ahead and try this. Go ahead and try doing this, or why don't we come back to that later? Or, you know, I'll tell you what, while you're running through it one more time, let's set up on doing this other type of overdub. So you're in charge, you're running the session, but you're kind of keeping things efficient, but you're realizing they're struggling on it. Do they want to just keep beating a dead horse, you're moving it on for them. So without them asking, what do we need to do, you already stepped in and came up with a plan or a solution on what to do. Now that's just a hypothetical situation, so realize that. But you know, when they record something, say like a lead vocal, you might say, well, that would really be nice if you double it on these certain lines or something like that. And so when you can, if you have everything all set up, you can go ahead and quickly double track that and then quickly play that back for them, and they realize that's what I wanted. And you need to sense that that's what they wanted. They wanted to go ahead and maybe bring up that melody vocal line in that part, and the doubling on certain lines or in the chorus did that for them. So be a palm reader, or read the, you know, get out your crystal ball and see, and get into their brain and figure out what they want to do, and tell them that's what they want to do, and they're gonna say, this guy, he's good. We want to come back to them. And but remember, get back, you know, so let's cover that. Figure out what they want to do, but be able to deliver on it. Okay, you need to deliver on it. You're in charge, then you're the mind reader. Okay, 3 things. I'm going to keep this short. Hopefully you got some value out of this, and we'll see you next week with the next installment of Running Your Successful Studio. I appreciate it, guys. Hey, subscribe, bell, all that good stuff. We'll talk to you later.